Let's start that over. I had the mic muted. Hello, friends. Hope everybody's doing well. Has everyone's had a happy Sunday, and kind of getting into the rhythm of another work week. So, 7 o'clock to 8 p.m. We're going to be here. And of course, you guys know that Alex Bowman 53 Card Room Live from 8 to 9. And then I think tonight is John 3D80's Kid. We'll be hosting For Collectors, which I will be a part of that panel. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be the Vintage Basketball or the Basketball Card Hall of Fame, which is being managed by both TJ, Tony from TJ's Online, as well as Ray from Philly. So they're going to be at the helm of that, which I think is really, it's an awesome idea for anyone that loves basketball or vintage basketball or anything from the classic days. Right up your alley. So 9 p.m. Is when that's going to happen, of course, on the For Collectors channel. Oh man, so I feel like every week or two there's always something new that's kind of bursting, no pun intended, bursting into the digital waves of sort of this awesome community that we have. This week, I guess, or this past couple weeks, or this week has been about this hobby bubble that's supposed to exist. And aside from that, there's Mangini did a video about the demise of the collector, which I can understand and kind of harness in that sort of mentality. I've been doing the YouTube thing, I would say probably now for, I don't know, going on almost 5 years, I think. It'll be 5 years in February. And I can't say for certainty. It's kind of hard looking back because when I started in 2021, I was behind the camera filming my cards. So all you saw were my hands, my cards, showcasing, and videos of card shops and shows weren't really something I was doing at that point, as far as giving you guys a glimpse of the shows. And maybe I was sort of in a bubble, no pun intended. And I didn't realize that I'm wondering during that time of 2021, 2022, where was what kind of videos were being made? Whether there were a lot of hobby videos being made about hobby news and speculation and trends and market analysis. Technology was there. but I can't really recall. It's a little fuzzy for me, but during those years, I can't recall there being a lot of videos centering around hobby news and analysis and trends and so forth. I just recall seeing a lot of videos about showing off cards, visiting shops, collection pickups, really just kind of centered around the the PC or inventory pickups. And I think there's just been this gradual switch of content that's been made. Less about cards and more about what is going on in the hobby based on our perspectives as collectors with channels, and getting feedback from those that watch us, and also kind of sharing their perspectives from their own personal experiences. And a lot of that, it's like a back and forth. Really is like a back and forth. Cards to me, videos about like making videos about your pickups, or showing off cards, showing off your collection, has really taken a back seat. It doesn't feel like and I'm not saying everybody, like it's like 100% a dead medium, or dead. It's just it seems to kind of be going by the wayside. So it's interesting to kind of look back and to analyze this gradual shift that has occurred. And there are some topics that are interesting to discuss. For my end of things, I do bring up cards that have sold. Like I did a video discussing the rare and regional stuff versus the Topps and Bowman, and seeing a 5-year shift, and seeing how the value has shifted for these rare and regional things. And it's just interesting to me. I like to see how things have shifted. And generally, it looks like, you saw from the video that I made, it looks like both, like we're talking about the legendary names like Mantle, Mays, Clemente, Aaron. Not, I don't want to dive into pre-war, but focusing exclusively on the Golden Age stuff. And it's interesting to see that both Topps and Bowman stuff, as well as the regional stuff, have both kind of gone up. But definitely the rare and regional stuff is really shot to the moon. It's really showing. It's pretty remarkable how much of an increase in value, and a lot of those cards have how they've kind of taken off. Let me do a roll call, and we'll continue further. Trevor from Blue Collar Cards, what's up, buddy? Good to have you here. eBay is here. What is up, friend? Mike from Jayhawker, good evening, collectors. Fine evening for some collecting conversations. We could definitely kind of focus on that tonight if you'd like. Let's see. Everyone's saying hello to everybody. Sven is here. Evening, everybody. Jacob Dahl is here. I think Rick got here during the intro, so you just missed part of the intro, Rick. Carlisle, pretty confident Sam uses the live band to open his videos. That would require quite a lot of money for me to get Offspring to play here in my room and hook up the apparatus. But I love where your mind is at. Dave Peacemaker Cards, I'll be listening while I walk my dog. Stay safe, friend. Stay safe. Dog ate my card collector. Andy, what's up, buddy? Good to have you here. Hello, my Eagles are winning. Dang good. honestly, that's we're all like, well, I'm not gonna say we're all because I think there are some Kansas City Chiefs fans in here. But we'll see if the Eagles win. Vintage Card Steve got the notification you going live. Yes, I'm here live. I'm here until roughly about 8 o'clock or so. We'll see how long this goes. Just depends on how, with the vibe of the live stream. See how this goes. Polar Bear trying to save the season. God, they're impossible to watch right now. Hitman 23, Mike, what's up? Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Brian Hodges, what's up, buddy? Give video a like. Thank you very much, Brian. Brad's Vintage is here. What's up, Brad? Orlando, what's up, Orlando? It was all about the cards. Yes. It was all about the cards at that point. It was all about sharing and admiring each other's pickups. That's really what it was about in those early days for me in 2021, 22, and so forth. Pastor Craig, what's up? Mr. Wilhelm, what's up, buddy? Orlando J, Average Vintage Collector. What's up, buddy? Good to have you here. Philippines Collector, big ups. Trevor is saying, I remember a bunch of grading reveals pickups. Oh, and the great investment advice of Jeff. That still exists. I'm old style and still just show cards, no drama. Orlando, yeah. You have not pivoted whatsoever, and I admire that and appreciate that about you. Mike's Mr. October and more. If you're talking about Philly, I am actually going to be going on Sunday. That has changed. Let's see. Brad says there's room for all. I watch channels that give news, lots of channels about collecting and showing off cards, and opinion videos if the content is respectful towards all in the hobby. Hey man, yeah, if you enjoy the diversity of all the different styles, all the different videos, plenty of videos out there. Roll call. No beer tonight, but I like where your head's at. Clint Adams, first time watching live. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Clint. I appreciate that, man. I think that. I hope you kind of enjoy this freestyle of a live stream as I do this solo. But I also invite you to come on Thursday as well at 8 p.m. where I co-host a Cardboard and Cold Ones live stream with my buddy Jason of Everyday Card Collector, and we will have Lonely Basement Baseball cards, Keith, on this Thursday. So we're looking forward to that. That's finally won. Walk off. Yes. Thank God. The world is crazy. This community is escape for me, and I love showing great cards and entertaining all of you, and I appreciate that very much. So I didn't really have much of, a theme for tonight. I wanted to come on. I will be appearing later tonight at 9 p.m. on For Collectors. Been watching football today, mostly kind of relaxing, taking it easy, and honestly, I probably needed that because I go back to work tomorrow, and it's another full week of just a lot going on. So Jay says, good stories and good cards reel me in. If there's an interesting opinion, topic, or news or whatever, yes, drama I stay away from. That's the best thing you can do. Melissa, good to have you here. Thank you so much for coming tonight. So I'm putting out a video tomorrow, so I'm not going to harp on this too much. You guys can watch the video tomorrow, about this whole hobby bubble thing. And I kind of like the perspective that I share is simply about from the card show perspective, and seeing how alive and I guess thrilling the card shows are. I've been to 3 card shows over the last 3 weekends. 3 different shows, 3 different types. This Northeast Sports Card Expo this past Saturday, Garfield the Sunday before, and now I'm trying to remember the show before that. But actually, that might have been when I went with my dad to the flea market and the card shop. So it's a little different, not quite the same, but still, I can say this much. Aside from my filming, I am very observant of the feel and the vibe of a show and the people that are there, the collectors and the the interactions that I'm overhearing at a table, at various tables, and just kind of noticing, there's going to be, a lot of window shopping for sure, because you should be selective in what you're buying. Um, but I can say this much, that um, people are there to buy. Collectors are there to buy. Um, I mentioned in my video tomorrow that there's one guy in particular that I've seen at a couple shows. Seen him at White Plains. I've seen him at Garfield. Um, I don't know him really that well at all. I haven't had really any conversations with him, but he's tuned in. This guy's tuned in, and like what he's buying is very unique. He bought a Conn's Frank Robinson this couple like last weekend. Tough card to find for sure, especially at a show. I saw Bazooka Mantle 61 sold. A lot of people asking about 51 Bowman Mays. There was a dealer who had a 1.5, but the centering was immaculate. A lot of people asking about that card. A lot of people willing to spend money to add fruitful cards to their collection. So from a card show perspective, I don't really foresee this whole bubble bursting. I think there's a lot of recirculation of cards, meaning what I mean by that is, aside from collectors buying, there are also dealers buying. And there are dealers who buy from other dealers. There's a network that seems to exist. Certain dealers buy from other dealers that they know very well to replenish inventory. And it's a repeated process, and it has been a repeated process because there are always collectors out there that want those cards. They want those Mantles. They want those Mays. They want those Clementes. They want the Aarons. They want the Cobbs, because your everyday collector who doesn't have thousands to spend every single or every other week or every single week or however, they're working up towards that big purchase. And it happens all the time. That's just what I'm observing, is at shows there are those collectors that are there, the everyday collectors that work up towards a big purchase. And dealers recognize that. I'm an everyday collector in terms of big time purchases. They don't happen every single week. A lot of them are purchased at like the big shows like Strongsville, the National, East Coast National, Philly. And I think that should be recognized, is that there are collectors that are working up towards these purchases. And all cards, like all those big name cards, like a 53 Topps Mantle, 55 Clemente, 56 Clemente. Dealers recognize that, and they're buying up more of them from other dealers to replenish inventory, because they know that there are collectors out there waiting or hoping to find one. Dealers build networks with other collectors, and they build a vast network, and they know they're able to tune in to their needs, or that's not needs, because nobody really needs a card, but their wants and desires of cards that they want to add to their collection. So that's what I'll say on the subject. There's more. The video I release tomorrow will kind of talk a little bit more about it, but I think that's like the card show perspective, what I'm seeing on the ground at shows. That's what I'm seeing. Let me get back to Don. How was the Northeast Expo? I considered attending, but it wasn't in the cards, pun intended. It was good, man. As far as card shows go, I enjoyed it. I think the planning of that show was really well thought out. The space between the aisles and the rows were really wide, and you can easily navigate the room without bumping into anybody. I don't know if it was on purpose, but they set up in an indoor soccer field, essentially indoor soccer arena at the Chelsea Piers, and made it very comfortable on the feet, actually. So I was able to navigate the room really comfortably. Downsides was that there was no air conditioning, or at least I didn't feel like there was any air conditioning, so it didn't really have a lot of airflow. So it got a little hot. I was I thought that a vendor list would have been nice on the website as far as knowing who's going to be there. But because you're paying $15 at the door, you want to make sure that your $15 is going to going to be worthwhile based on the ratio of vintage dealers to modern and Pokemon and so forth. Because I paid $5. Like I paid $5 at a show in a gymnasium, and there was really very little representation of vintage. And yeah, I've gone to shows like that before, and that's always a little frustrating. But yeah, overall, I was pleased. I would go again. Comparatively to like shows like Philly, East Coast National, it's a little different. It has the same feel, but I don't know how long the Northeast Sports Card Expo has been operating for. But they seem to be doing a good job because they're hosting shows in Portland, Maine, I think. Marlborough, Massachusetts was my understanding is their second spot. And then Stamford, Connecticut. So overall, it was a good quality show. I would recommend it. There's definitely a good eclectic mix of stuff. Let's see. I'm just catching up on the chat here. Funny on your video where a woman was talking about her. Yeah, that was that was captured, and one of my subscribers, Marcus, who I see a lot at these shows, mentioned, "Oh, that's going to be in the video." So you're right. Let's see what's up. Sammy, fellow collectors, hope all are having a great weekend. Yes, and getting ready for another work week. Mr. Wonderful established and allocated a percentage of his wealth to sports cards. The secret is out, and the hobby is healthy. Yes, so that's a whole other animal. Investors coming in and diving into the sports memorabilia and cards. We still have to cultivate the youth. I don't mean with their Pokemon or prismatic. I can't even read that. Purple number to 20. We need to show them stuff made before 2000, also known as BLG before LeBron James. Yes. That show advertised a ton of free autos. Did you get any? I did not. I'm not an auto person, and my time is spent recording the show for the first hour at least, recording the show, recording tables, and then just navigating slowly and circulating the room to see what's there. I mean, I collect Hank Bauer, so I ain't an investor. Hey man, listen, don't sell yourself short on that Hank Bauer collection, my friend. There are some amazing Hank Bauer stuff that exists. Yeah, no AC. It was a little brutal. Not bad. Not 2023 Chicago National bad. Purchasing less and being very picky with what I'm adding to my collection. As you should be. As you should be. Just got back from a week at the Jersey Shore. What did I miss? A little bit of there's been some rumblings on various channels. So something you can definitely pick your videos and be able to catch up a little bit. I don't time the market. I spend my card budget each year. Everything I buy is for my PC. Over time, they go up. Corrections rarely get to the point that unaffordable cards become affordable. Let me read that again. Everything I buy is for my PC. Over time, they go up. Corrections rarely get to the point that unaffordable cards become affordable. So this would require quite a big breakdown. I think they're, we have to go back to when the hobby really took off again after COVID, and really has continued to kind of rise and increase. I mean, there's been some top offs where prices have kind of tapered down to let's come back to reality a little bit, but I look at it this way. Vintage is pretty steady, I would say, for the most part. The big names will always command a very good price, in my opinion. I think there's the secondary players, or not, I hate to call them that, because they're not secondary players, but I mean, when you have guys like Gibson and Nolan Ryan, I guess you could throw Seaver in there. I guess I'm just mentioning pitchers because I'm using this as an example. But when you have those premier pitchers, Koufax, let me throw Koufax in there as well. They're always going to command a higher premium price for certain things. But then, there's pitchers like Don Drysdale and Don Sutton, Fergie Jenkins, and they're great pitchers, fantastic pitchers. But they don't have the same. They're not in the same realm as the other guys. And what was once maybe $100 Sutton rookie card has now dropped to $70, $80 perhaps, depending on the grade and such. But for sure, I'm on the verge of a nice PC card either tonight or sometime this coming week. That's great, Jake. I don't know if you want to share it here in the chat, but feel free to do so. I'd love to hear what it is. Ryan, what's up, man? Just tuned in. Hope everyone is well. I'm hearing that there's going to be a 1,000 table show in Massachusetts in 2026. Not sure this can occur because Mass has poor infrastructure. That is wild. I haven't heard that, but that's cool. If it happens, it happens. That's pretty sweet. Agreed. Those young whippersnappers are getting out of control. Thank you, Dom. Yeah. Something about a bubble. Yep. I would start with Lonely Basement Baseball Cards video first if you want a good laugh. Keith is awesome. Did you hear about the guy in Jersey that consigned his collection to Brandon Steiner? He had every top set since 48 and a ton more. I haven't heard that. Pretty crazy, huh? I'm sure that will make the waves soon. $7 million. Wow. What's the number? That's crazy. Mike, what's up, man? Good to have you here, man. Appreciate you coming here, joining us tonight. Let's see. Ready. Jason, buy more Pokemon. Hello, everyone. I'll tell you what, man. Pokemon was well represented at the Northeast Sports Card Show Expo. Very well worth it. Jason's putting all his money into Wally Moon. Good luck. New Jersey Barry, Telesnik is a seller according to the New York Post. Oh, cool. I'll look into that. 600 tables will be Pokemon. That's a lot. It's a lot of Pokemon. I'm looking at either Hall of Famer from the 50s or 60s for sure, pre-war. Nothing from the pre-war era. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm looking at either Hall of Famer. It's a lot to pick from. So are you looking for a pitcher, a hitter? So, or a position player, I guess. These kids will evolve into vintage. When I was young, I once bought a case of 89 Upper Deck. You could not talk to me about vintage now. That's all I want. Things change, man. Preferences change. Keith is awesome. Will do. Yeah. Keith is great, man. He keeps it real. Mark Hoyle, what's up? Hey, everybody. What's up, Mark? Any player. Cool. Cool. But, yeah, man. Lots to look forward to. There's a crap ton of auctions going on right now, it seems. I think Sterling's having an auction right now. REA is having an auction right now. Clean sweeps. I think it's clean sweeps. Clean sweeps. I think is the name of the auction. I see them at shows all the time. They're having an auction right now. A lot of stuff coming out of the woodworks, man. A lot of stuff coming out. Pretty wild. Let's see. Dom is saying. Oh, Jason is saying oversized pre-war is the ticket. Listen to Jason. Christy Mathewson, Willie Mays, and Tom Seaver are dead, but legends like Charizard never die, Jason. Yeah, Charizard is really making the rounds. Oh yeah, of course. Chris Sewell and Jeremy, Texas Snowman. It's really Jeremy. I know Jeremy's kind of the figurehead behind it, and then I think Chris Sewell is the also part of it as well. They work together, as you may have probably seen many of Chris's videos. Have I seen the Reggie Jackson Greatest Moments card? Absolutely, and I know a couple of collectors that I know have one. Lenny from Cardcast has one. I think his is autographed. And Tony from TJ's Online has one as well. It's a sweet card. T3 cards, yeah, oversized. I love you guys. I'm preaching to the choir with me, man. Love the oversized stuff. Big into the oversized. I wish I could fit the oversized stuff in my display case, but otherwise, a lot of times I have to put it sideways, which is never ideal. REA raised their buyer's premium to 23%. They were my favorite. But we'll try to buy from others now. Yeah. Favorite auction house. Yeah, I hear you, man. 23%, 3%, it adds up, especially when you get into some higher price cards. Let's see. Turkey Reds are where it's at. Yeah, I think, that might be my next big one to pick up is a Turkey Red Mathewson, but they get pricey. They get really pricey. Love those 71 greatest moments. Yeah, man, I love them too. I have the Willie Mays in here, which I can't grab right now, but love it. Patty was the one who helped me find that. Anyone doing Fanatics auction house tonight? Don't sleep on Fanatics, because I've seen some people pick up some crazy good vintage deals on Fanatics auctions. Turkey Reds are always a favorite of mine. I would take any player from those. Yeah, Turkey Reds are sweet over cards, man. They're just sweet cards. Oh man. So let's talk a little bit about the Philly show coming up. Really looking forward to that. Anybody here in the chat going? I know Mike Good is going. I'm trying to see who else in the chat that I believe is going. I'm kind of scanning through. But let me know if you're going. I'm going Sunday. I wish I can go Saturday, but Mookie and I are going to go on Sunday because that's when he's free. That's when he's available. So that will be the day, is Sunday. And so one of the things that I'm going to bring with me, because I want to get more information on it, is my Chesterfield advertisement of Willie Mays. So the Chesterfield, I don't know if you guys saw on Memory Lane, that I think Memory Lane ended yesterday. There is a Chesterfield advertisement of Willie Mays that sold for just under $5,000. Now, granted, that advertisement I think was like a storefront one, perhaps. It was like a 21 by 21 or something, a large sized advertisement. And so um, it got me thinking. I'm like, that's wow. I had no idea that they were going for that much. So it got me wanting to do a little research, trying to dig in a little bit more. The Chesterfield advertisement, for the record, was part of a larger purchase. There was a I picked up the Coca. You guys know the story if you've watched the video. The Coca-Cola, the uh, San Francisco Call Bulletin, the Laughlin Super Stand Up, and then the Chesterfield ad. I just like the look of it. So when I saw that the storefront advertisement went for that much, I was like, wow, I did not think it was going to go for that crazy that amount, but it did. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about the smaller Chesterfield ad. And based on conversations that I've had, I ended up actually reaching out to Memory Lane, asking about it, just inquiring, maybe asking what they knew. I told them the size of the advertisement that I had, and they said, "Oh, They emailed me back today, and they said it's if you have the smaller, is it cardboard or is it paper?" And I said it's like a textured paper, it has a textured feel to it. I'll tell you what, let me grab it, see if I can do this gracefully. It's hard to tell behind, but it's the back. Then you have the front. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, it's going to be a little, hopefully not slanted. But so I asked Memory Lane about it, and I'm waiting to hear further detail about it. But they suggested that if it's a smaller one like this ad, that it's likely from like a magazine advertisement. And so I messaged them asking what year, like where, like when was that circulated? Like when were those advertisements circulated? If it was in a magazine. I guess it's something they could reuse again and again in a magazine ad, but because they suggested that it was probably cut out of or torn out from a magazine. I tried doing Google searches, tried looking it up, but haven't really found much. I found a couple websites that talk about the size of it, and just general just specifications about it, but not any detail about where it came from, the origin. I'm going to catch up with what's going on in the chat because obviously there's been some comments. Steve, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're probably gone by now, but if you watch this on repeat, thank you so much for tuning in tonight, man. I appreciate you sticking around. Mark is asking who's going to Shriners. I'm still on the fence. I'm hoping I can, but we'll see. I can't wait, Mark. Yeah, so Dom, you're going. I'm sure I have a feeling I know which dealer you're really, really excited about. Going Saturday. Love to meet. There's going to be a lot of people there Saturday, so yeah, you're going to meet a lot of people there. Thank you, Melissa. It's a really I love the advertisement. I love the colors, the color scheme. It's a great looking piece. Thank you, Orlando. I appreciate it. And Stephen, thank you. Thank you so much. Vintage Pursuit looks like an ad that may have been posted to lampposts or walls back in the day. That's a possibility as well. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Doesn't seem like the right dimensions for a magazine ad. I thought that too. I don't know how. I mean, my first thought was like, is it possible that some of these could have been from like a newspaper, perhaps as well? I don't know. A magazine ad would not be a blank back. Yeah. This is something that they were suggesting it was in a magazine, so I'm waiting to hear back about it. But again, I'm going to bring it with me to Philly because I want them to take a look at it. And wouldn't it have something on the back? Yeah, that's kind of that's a good point. Mark says he has a few Ted Williams Chesterfield ads. Is it the same size, Mark? Roughly the same size, 8x8, a little more. Going Saturday, meet and greet. Yeah, man, that's gonna be it's gonna be a lot of fun. I wish I can attend, but it'll be good. It's wide and blank back. Yeah, 8x8. It's an 8x8 piece, making it more square shaped, not like an 8.5x11. I'll be going to Philly on Saturday. We'll be wearing the 45s hat. Please say hello. Yes, look out for Andy. 45s hat. That's a pretty cool hat. And that is too odd shaped for magazine. Even Life and Look would be taller an hour. It's a good point. It's a good point. I'm sure when I bring it with me to Philly, we'll be able to get more answers. So I'm looking forward to that. Hey, Dan, good to have you here, buddy. Steel City DW. Dan, what's up, man? Good to have you here. Appreciate you jumping on. Shipping crate label. Could you elaborate further what you mean by that, just so I can understand? Could it be a piece that was posted at a point of sale in a window or at the counter? Maybe in a. It's possible. It's thin, so but it's like a textured material. So I don't know. Thoughts on the 53-54 mascot dog food set? That should stir up. Yeah, I don't know. Mascot dog food set. I know the Red Heart, but the mascot dog food set, I've not heard of that. A little bigger, but mine are definitely from magazine. You got some kind of store display. That's pretty sweet then. That is pretty cool. Could it be that's a great point, Melissa. Could it be an advertisement for a vending machine? That's interesting. Steven says I think you're correct, Mark. And maybe a salesman sell sheet. I'll take it back down. Let's get a closer look at it. Okay. I will try to get this close so you guys can get a better feel for the glare is going to do. You guys can hopefully see it a little better. Try to do my best to get, not get the glare, but unfortunately we're using my computer here. Yeah. All right. So you guys can see the reflection of that like raised print that they did. And then yeah, the back, see if I can kind of show the back a little bit. You got some stains to be expected, I suppose. So I appreciate you guys. 1 second. Oh. I appreciate you guys sharing input on this. It's very helpful. Love to kind of spitball this a little bit. Let's see. What is the mascot dog food set? Yeah, it's a mascot. Those mascot dog foods are impossible. No, Mark. Fantastic piece. Ryan, I don't know about it. I'm sorry, I don't know every oddball set that exists. So, I stay in my lane in certain areas. Net 54 would be a good place to ask. That's always a good place to get it, like get information about something unique. So, but it's cool. I'll definitely look these up. The mascot dog food set. That's definitely a set that's sounds pretty cool. Could it be an ad that belongs in my card room? It's a good question. Oh, Aaron, pre-war pusher is here. Mascot dog food is ultra rare. Pop of a few for most of the players being graded. That's wild. Let me look that up. Okay. Yeah, 54 mascot dog food. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Mantle, like it looks like, yeah, you got Mantle in there. I'm just kind of navigating. I'll probably do this after the live stream since I can get lost into that immediately. So, all right, guys, I think I've hit that plateau. I gotta get ready for the 9 o'clock live stream at 4 collectors. So make sure to stick around for that. 8 p.m. Card Room Live with Alex Bowman 53. So make sure you're around for that too, as you guys are gonna get more live streams coming up. So thank you guys so much. We've had as many as 54, which is awesome. Thank you guys. Appreciate you sticking around. Appreciate you listening to me just talk, show stuff off. I appreciate the advice you guys gave about the Chesterfield ad. I'll definitely report back from the Philly show and let you know what I find out. So, but I hope you guys have a good start to your week. I'll see you guys at 9 p.m. if you jump over to 4 collectors. But otherwise, have a good night. I'll see you soon. Take care.